I don't know why. But I'm reading it. I don't like it when my characters are tortured. I don't like, we'll do Sherilyn Kenyon at some point, and her heroes are just tortured to absolute death. Those guys go through hell. But this poor chick, I swear, she survives cancer, and she's doing the best job she can. Even on days when she feels like she can't even get out of bed, she still gets out of bed and she goes to work. And her boss keeps punishing her for that. Why is her boss punishing her for that? She's doing a really good job. And he's consistently punishing her and talking down to her. And I don't like it. I don't like it when cops are bullies. They're not supposed to be bullies. They're supposed to be on the side of good. And I know you watch it in the news every day, and there's always some corruption someplace, somebody, racism and stuff like that, and biased opinions on different LGBT, it hurts. It just hurts for all that. I don't like it when my characters are tortured. All right, Eve Dallas has a really bad childhood, but her coworkers and her boss and her friends and stuff are doing a really good job of supporting her butt. So, welcome to the Deluise Book Series channel. I'm Kristina, Kristina. Please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job here. I have no special effects. There's nothing going to be dropping in. I have no editing skills. It's just me talking books. That's all it is. There's nothing special going on here. I don't even have theme music or anything. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Sorry, the book got me upset. Because I don't like it when my characters are tortured. It's Carrie Smith, Forgotten City. And she writes so fluently. You just zoom through the book, just zoom. When I first started, like I do with most books, I like to keep track of recurring characters. I like to watch the progression. I like to watch their growth from book to book to book, and the relationships grow from book to book to book. And I like to keep track and know who's who and who what. There's too many people. Alright, she didn't throw as many people at us in this book as she did in the last one, but she's still throwing too many people for me to even keep track of. And I don't like that Munez keeps getting made fun of. That's not right. He's bullied by other cops, and that's not right. They should be partners and co-workers and shit. But not in this book. And it's probably in real life too, the stuff happens. But I like to live in a little bit of a fantasy world. And I like to read for enjoyment. And it got me so angry. See, that's how bad the book drew me in. It just drew me in. It sucked me into the story. I've got a major character, Claire Codell, should I say. She's a cancer survivor. She's lived through hell and back. She's gone through all this stuff, and she's doing an amazing job. She's not even calling in sick on days she doesn't feel so good. And yet her boss is killing her. I swear to God. So, she gets this case, right? And, she solved a cold case. She would have liked to distract herself in the tangled threads of a complex investigation, but she hadn't had a challenge case for 3 long months. Dennis McGowan, her lieutenant, was making sure of that. when she accepted the promotion to Manhattan homicide just months before her cancer diagnosis. She felt like a teenager who finally graduated to the grown-ups table. But the grown-ups weren't all that grown up, she had discovered, and they weren't enthusiastic about sharing their table with the detective who had solved the case they'd let go cold. So she solves this big case, and then she gets the cancer, goes away. Then she comes back, and because no one else was available, she gets signed another big case. And now they're like, you know, they don't want her to do anything. They're not giving her anything to do. So she gets this case. This girl comes to her and says, I think my mother was murdered. I want you to investigate. So she does a little investigation, checking some stuff out on her side. And then she goes to her boss. And I wish I wrote it down. I guess I didn't. I thought I did. Let's see. But I get gotten so involved in this. Where the fuck were you at roll call? McGowan growled when she came to his office. You can't remember to tell me when you're going to be late? I should write you up. What is it? You got chemo brain or something? It's called chemo fog, and no, I don't. Codell did not keep the coldness out of her voice. Cancer, he knew very well, was her physiological Achilles heel, and he liked to find Snide always little ways to bring it up to remind her of her vulnerability. I told you I had an appointment. What appointment? He wanted to make her say it, she thought. Well, fine, she would say it. I had a medical procedure. Jesus Christ, Cordelia, you have to stop all this doctor shit. It gets in the way. She just looked at him. She had only missed 3 hours of work in more than 3 months. Dan Fisk, McGowan's lead homicide detective, had missed whole mornings due to his failed root canal, implant appointments, divorce, and custody hearings, all of which he told her about ad nauseum as if she actually cared. McGowan never jumped on him. This wasn't about reality, she knew. This was McGowan's personal mission to cut her off at the knees. He leaned back in his chair. But I guess you can't help it, can you? He grinned. That's the fucked up thing about cancer, isn't it? Once it shows up on your doorstep, you can never really get rid of it, can you? Are you effing serious? She wanted to say. People could think those things. They did all the time. She could see it in their eyes, but they weren't supposed to voice them. When are you going to let me catch a case of my own? That's a whole different conversation, Codell. You want to go there? I want you to answer the question. Fine. When you learn to play by the rules. He tapped his fingers on his desk. He had a new haircut with short bangs that transformed a reddish fringe across the top of his forehead with his freckled skin and full eyes. He had to work extra hard to look manly with that coiffure. Maybe that's why he was the son of a bitch lately. I always play by the rules. He waved her away. Go help Fisk on Hasbro case, and the next time you go see your doctor, you tell me personally. You got it? And then we find out that she had a torturous childhood. So not only is her boss torturing her, but she also had a torturous childhood. Her father used to beat her mother, and she was also a victim too, a little bit there. So but the case itself and the fact that she's making an effort with Haggerty, her so-called boyfriend, is good. Oh, and her mother was an alcoholic. But it's a really good book. It pulls you out. It really does. It's got a good story. It's compelling. The finger gets pointed at a couple of different people. And there's one person that you really want it to be this person because you'd really like to see them get their comeuppance. But it rarely happens. But there's several murders in this book, and she does a really, really good job of investigating the case. And what bugs me is that she's on her way to make her arrest, and her boss calls her off the case. I don't get it with this guy. I really, really don't. Just, I just don't get it. She's about to solve a major murder, and he takes her off the case. You know, Cordelia sat in her car and listened to the voicemail messages from McGowan and Detective Cooper. She called Cooper back. First, that juice generation cup on Legica's table, it contained oxycodone. So we've got a loose connection between the deaths. Very loose, but it's a start. And there's stuff about the case, and I won't give you that. 5 minutes later, she called back McGowan. Where are you? Get the hell up here. I want to talk to you. She was in his office doorway 10 minutes later. You must have really pissed off Merchant yesterday, he said. What makes you say that? McGowan stuffed his hands in his pants because his attorney called the DA's office to complain about you, and I got a call from One Police Plaza. I don't like getting calls from One Police Plaza, Codell. Who complained? Martinelli? Whatever her name is, she accused you of trying to intimidating her client. Jesus Christ, Codell, that's bullshit. Bullshit or not, what she's saying, and they're listening. I told you were playing with fire. It means he's feeling the heat, and so am I. I'm clipping your wings. You're off it. Legit suicide. I just got the report, and Fisk will take over the Lucy Merchant investigation. But I've almost wrapped it up. I just need one more day. He's like, no, you're off the case. She's about to solve this big, huge murder, and her boss takes her off the case. You know, I don't like it, but it's a really good book, and it's a really compelling story. I mean, it just pulls you in, and I couldn't put it down. I read the whole thing in one sitting. So, I mean, you got to check it out. And you'll feel my anger, my sympathy for her that she's doing such a really great job, and she's not complaining about being sick or tired or nauseous or any of that kind of crap that comes with cancer. And yet, her boss does nothing but give her grief. And yet, she's really good at solving cases. She's a really good detective. And you won't see the whodunit. It'll hit you in the face because it comes out of nowhere. And technically, you probably should have seen it coming, but you don't, because the finger's being pointed at all these different directions that you didn't see the whodunit right in front of your face. But it's a really good book. Please check it out. I think I might move on to the next one. Carrie Smith's The Forgotten City. Check it out. Oh, and don't forget Star Trek Days are on Fridays. And we are doing nightly games of Boggle, although no one is showing up for those. Please hit your like and subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I just read books, talk books. There's no special effects going on here. So thank you.